Well, good afternoon and welcome to CBM Calling for Thursday, July the 23rd. Before I introduce you to my guests this afternoon, I want to give you a quick update on our Active in Mission initiative. Thanks to you, we are at 87% of our fundraising goal. So that's $13,055 of our $15,000 goal to build 20 latrines to add to the 20 that we've already built in 2020. But it doesn't stop at 100%. We are going to add some stretch goals, and these will be introduced to you. We'll give you more information as we fulfill each current goal. So please keep checking back to find out about these new goals and keep raising funds for Active in Mission. Thank you so much for your support so far. I want to introduce you to our guests today. Joined with me are Joe Green and Kelly Moore, both from AEnon Baptist Church here in Chester, Nova Scotia, where Joe serves as the lead pastor. So thank you so much to you both for joining us today. We've been talking about Active in Mission, our initiative this summer, and we're going to talk more about that in a few moments. But your church at AEnon has been active in mission for a long time. I've been so encouraged and so impressed by the work that you've been doing in Chester. And so, Joe, can you share with us a little bit more about your church's engagement and how that's been significant for your congregation?
Sure. Thanks, Louise, for having us today. I don't know where it started. I know it started long before me, before I came to Chester Basin. So I've been there 6.5 years, and I know that previous ministers have been active in mission as well. Since I've been there, it's been very clear, and I'm sure Kelly's going to talk about our WMS, our Women's Missionary Society, who's been very active in mission in my time in the basin, and us as a church, maybe 5 years ago, we engaged CBM in a program called Discover. And we went through that process as a leadership team and started to think about local, regional, and global partners, and how important it is for us to be connected in partnership with those local, regional, and global partners that are connecting to us, and where our heart's desire and our own kind of church drive to help others, and how those might connect or intersect along those kinds of three different lines there, and CBM has been very helpful in giving us resources. One of the things that came out of that Discover was how to be better partners, right? Like sometimes when you partnership with people, you give to them, but you don't ask for anything in return. And so one of the things we've really benefited from in rethinking partnership is getting videos, our church is a church partner with the Waddells, and having them and sharing their blog. They've done personalized videos with us before, and just that kind of personal connection helps gain traction with projects and initiatives and connecting people to different areas of the world, but also the people who are being helped and most impacted by what CBM's doing there. So I think that has been a significant change in the time that I've been there, is that we're getting more connected to the local grassroots efforts that are happening. So it's all working for God's good.
That's fantastic. I remember the days when it was just CBM prayer cards. That's kind of all you had at the back of your church and the foyer or pinned up on the bulletin board. But now we've got videos. We're able to Zoom our field staff right into church services. And so that connection, that type of partnership is truly wonderful. Yeah. Thanks for that. Kelly, I know that you have been a really significant leader at AEnon and in promoting mission and engaging especially kids and youth with this. Can you tell us just a little bit about your own journey of why this is significant to you and how that started and how that spilled over into your congregation?
Well, even before I joined AEnon, we were in Ontario and I was part of the Women's Missionary Society there. So that was a little bit of a short stint, and then I came to AEnon, and the women in the society are still mentors to me. They're prayer warriors. They always had special devotions that were centered on the missionaries and the different things that they were doing all over the world. And it really made a big impact on me. Actually, there's a photo that John can show that just I kind of went through the dusty old photo albums and pulled out a few photos of some of the ladies that I've known over the years. And as a lot of the women as well are involved with VBS, so Vacation Bible School. And I started going through my history of the different projects that we've done. And I think starting in 2004, I have done a special missions segment with the children. And that's been really, I've enjoyed it. I had to miss it when we went to Kamp Tumaini, and I had missed it one other year due to work requirements. And I hated missing it because I really engaged with the children, and I want to impact their lives so that they can understand what the missionaries are doing and why they're doing it and what God wants us to do to help others. So I have used your care package, Kids Care and Welcome to Our Neighborhood, and taken the characters and the stories of the children, and I've acted them out. I've been the children. I've been the people in those situations, and engaged the kids in such a way that they come back the next day and they go, "Who are you today?" So what are you doing? What do you need? What are we going to do? And it's been wonderful. And their fundraising has been spectacular as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It was, we were just saying before we went live that it was probably almost exactly a year ago, last year, that I came to your church. One of the mornings that you were running your VBS, and I showed up with my toilet trouble game for the kids to play and my 4-foot inflatable poop emoji that's actually still here in my office, and some poop emoji tattoos and buttons to chat with the kids and to hear about what they've been doing through VBS. And I was just blown away, so impressed by the work that you were doing there with the children, both of you. Just incredible work. And you had built a latrine, which I had been to a lot of places to talk about the Latrines for Life project, but I had not seen a full-size latrine with the toilet in it. And I had also not seen a group of elderly women so keen to sit on that toilet and have their photo taken. So right. Your church was certainly a highlight last summer. Can you tell me a little bit more about the VBS? Share for us why you engaged with the Latrines for Life project, why that was important for your kids and youth to fundraise and learn about. Tell us how that all came about.
Well, they usually leave the mission project up to me, and I think I selected the Latrine project last year, and it had a personal effect for me because my husband and I were head counselors for the first Kamp Tumaini project in Kenya. And the first night we were there with the children who stayed overnight with us, we were in a concrete bunker, and the washroom was about 8 feet away in another. It was a secure washroom. You could go in, you could shut the door. But when we got up in the morning, the girls in our dorm had relieved themselves on the floor. And we were like, why? We said to the Kenyan leaders, like, why? And they said, that's because they don't feel safe to go outside to go to the washroom. At home, they cannot go out after dark because it's not safe. So when you're using the washroom, you're vulnerable, and especially if you have nowhere that you can shut a door. And so for me personally, that really made an impact, and I'll never forget it. So when I saw the project, I was like, oh, well, this is perfect. And I mean, really, the kids love to talk about food. Come on. They
do. Really, of all ages, really.
They do.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, having that personal experience, right? Seeing actually the impact of what it's like not have a safe and sanitary place to use the washroom. The vulnerability piece is really significant and just something that we don't even consider, right? We can understand the pollution aspect, and we can perhaps understand the hygiene aspect, but it's so much broader than that. It really is a project that helps in so many ways. So that's fantastic. Joe, what about for you? How have you seen this played out in your church, and what's been significant for you through the Latrine project?
Well, I think for the kids, it's a tangible project, right? Like oftentimes we think about the work that we do or the efforts that we're raising funds for, but we don't know what kind of tangible thing is at the other end, right?
Yeah.
And I think kids just connected with this in a way that maybe is surprising, but maybe isn't surprising. It's something that everyone can relate to, even children, right? Like they know that this is part of everyday life, and maybe they don't think about the safety issue of latrines and how important it is to be able to use the washroom in safety. Like those kinds of things added layers to it. And and we started in our youth group on Friday night. We used some of the kids care materials throughout, not just on a Sunday morning with our kids club or Sunday school, not just at VBS, but in our youth group as well. And it was it's not fair, right? Talking about social justice and efforts to help people, lift up people to levels that are equitable for them and for us, and kids really kind of saw that kind of thread connect into the fall after we did the project in the summer. So I mean, it was something tangible, but it was also something that they could get behind, right? So it was really good.
Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you. Thanks so much for your leadership in your congregation. It really was inspiring to me to be a part of that. And thanks for inviting me that day. And that latrine, Kelly, I picked it up from your husband, and it went to a bunch of other VBSs, and it was used as other churches were doing things similar to yours. So thank you, but thank you for educating your kids and youth about that, especially. This is a really tangible thing, as you say, Joe, and a really tangible way of sharing the gospel with people. These projects, as I hope our viewers know, that these aren't things that CBM, we don't fly into countries and show up and start building latrines. We partner, we always work in partnership. And so it's the local church that has identified this is a need in these rural communities in El Salvador, and it's the local church that we join with. When I was just there in March, the pastor at the church we were working with, he joined us. We saw him go from an early morning church meeting that lasted hours. He ran and did some visits in the community, prayed for some folks who were sick, and then jumped into a latrine with us and started digging in his shirt and tie. So it certainly is the local church, and these are tangible ways that people are sharing the good news to say that that there is dignity in all of this, and that people are created in the image of God, and so it's not okay that they don't have a safe and sanitary place to use the washroom. So thank you so much for that, and thank you so much for registering for Active in Mission. I've seen your fundraising pages online. Can you tell us what you're going to do to stay active in mission, and perhaps there's somebody that you want to challenge to register and to get active in mission with you?
Well, I made the mistake of asking my my son what I should do to be active, and now apparently we're climbing a mountain in Cape Breton. So,
okay. Fantastic. Which one?
Franny Mountain in Cape Breton Highlands.
Okay, so cool.
Yes, so we're going to go up there the middle weekend in August, and we'll be posting some pictures of our adventures and see what kind of wildlife we see as we're doing our hike. And I'm not sure who I want to challenge. Pretty much, I'd like to challenge our youth group.
Okay.
If there's anybody who feels led that, any little bit will make a difference. And that's what we've always said. It's not the amount, it's It's just every little bit can make a difference in somebody's life.
You're right. Okay, so AEnon Baptist Youth. That's you. Kelly is calling you out, and this is live on Facebook. So I hope that you share this with them and challenge them for sure. We'd love to see them sign up, and I see their photos of what they're doing as well. And please post photos of your mountain climb. That would be fantastic. Joe, what about you?
Well, I actually for local charities a couple weeks ago, I just golfed 100 holes in a day.
Wow.
To raise funds. Me and three others, we were golfing around, and so it's likely to do something with golf, probably.
Okay.
That was a bit of a stretch. It kind of connected me to the Giving Golf Tournament, which we've been a part of for 20 years. It was something that Chester United Baptist, our mother church in Chester, started about 20 years ago. And we've continued on these last 3 years in joint partnership. The churches in Chester Basin and Chester have been partnering together to keep the Giving Golf Tournament going. And it's been really receptive with local and kind of regional golfers coming to support missions. And what I love about it is a number of the people who participate don't call church home, are not churchgoers, so to speak, but are really, have really bonded with CBM in some way because they see the value of what CBM is doing and the kind of partnerships that you've talked about and grassroots efforts. People get behind that, and so it's been an opportunity for us to invite Randy Stanton and Alden Crane and others over the years to share about a bit of what CBM is doing. Last year we were helping to raise funds with the Hope Grows program, and that's just another neat local global connection as well, right? But I'm sure I haven't landed where my own active in mission project is going to be, but if Kelly has challenged our youth, I'm thinking of other youth groups in our area. I know that Pleasantville Baptist has a youth group there, and Bridgewater Baptist has youth as well. Greenfield. I was just in a pastor's meeting this morning with pastors from Lunenburg and Queens counties, and we've started to bond a little bit more because of Tidal Impact. We had Tidal Impact here a couple of years ago in the South Shore, so I would challenge any of the South Shore youth teams, youth groups to get involved.
I love it. And I've heard a ton about your Giving Golf Tournament. I am more of a mini golfer, so I haven't visited that yet. But I love the golfing idea. And Joe, you've created some questions here. We just want to say hi to some people who are joining us on Facebook. Gordon Brew, who works with us at CBM, he's wondering how many strokes in 100 holes of golf. Do you have any guess? I mean, if you're getting a hole in one every time, which we're just going to assume is happening, right?
Yeah,
not too many.
That is not what happened. I have no idea. It was many. I know that at the end, I was not swinging very hard, and I was trying to get my way through the day. But it was a full day. But who knows? I told the organizer that I wouldn't be caught dead doing this ever again, but maybe, who knows? Never say never, they say.
Absolutely. And if everyone watching sponsors Joe enough, maybe he will do it again. We'll have to see. Adrian Gardner says, no surprise that Joe would choose golf. So hello from Adrian. Jennifer Lau, who works with us at CBM as well, is impressed with your mountain climbing, Kelly. That's fantastic. Randy, who I know has been a part of your golf tournament, he says hi to you both and great to see you. Daryl and Laura Lee Buston say hello as well, and they say, who would have thought that the poop emoji would be so CBM connected? We are so on trend right now. It's been fantastic. We just lined it all up perfectly. It's been great. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's been so fun to chat with you. I've been so encouraged by your ministry over the years, and I'm so looking forward to your pictures of Active in Mission. As you know, that's happening the week of August 9th, and so please tune into our Facebook page for photos, not just from Joe and Kelly, but from everyone else who's taking part in Active in Mission. Thank you. Thanks again. I want to invite you to join us here on Tuesday, same time, same place, to hear from your partners in mission, actually, at AEnon Baptist. Michael and Melanie Waddell, who serve in the Philippines, they're going to join us and give us an update on their ministry and what they're up to these days. Thanks again so much. As I mentioned at the beginning, we are 87% funded, and hopefully that's gone up just in a few moments of this call. That will reach 100% funding and continue on from there to reach more goals as we continue to serve in word and deed. Thanks again, Kelly and Joe. We really appreciate your time with us today. Take care.
Thank you.